Aloha everyone, welcome back to our second video. The first one I think was awesome, and yeah, thanks for joining me. I guess my first question today is, with everything going on, a lot of noise in media and everything, should we really be worried about the stock market?
I guess that's a perspective on depending on if it's a short-term or a long-term investor. In a short-term perspective, that's anyone that has, 1, 2, 3, 4 years, whatever it is. I would say, I don't know. It's really hard to see what the market's going to do in the short run. There's a famous quote that says, we have two classes of forecasters, those that know they don't know, and those that don't know they don't know.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I don't put too much value on short term. I actually think it's counterproductive. But if you look at the long term, I think it's much easier to predict what capital market returns are going to be. And I would say, no, don't be scared. Look at kind of the big picture and see what's happening out there. We all know that crises and corrections do happen. They're inevitable. They're part of the process. But at the end of the day, businesses adapt, and they're amazing. And I'll use an example. I remember when COVID happened and the market was down 38% in a 25-day period, somewhere around there. And my wife, Felicia, sends me a text to go pick something up at Target. So I pull into the Target parking lot, and she makes a call, and all of a sudden I show this person a code, and a bunch of stuff is going into my car. That's a business that's adapting to changes. There's a great book out there called Factfulness, and it's just all about facts. And it's really why, and again, this is somewhat, our standard of living is 10 times greater. And actually, I think there's a quote, and I have it right here. It says, from 1820 to 1998, real GDP per person, which is beyond inflation, has increased 21-fold. And that just means that life as a human generally, and this is in the net, is much more positive. It's much easier for us nowadays than it was 100 years ago or so, and for many reasons. But this book called Factfulness really shares all the good things that have been increasing, and then all the bad things that have been decreasing. So it's remarkable, and that's really the fundamental belief. So to answer your question, should I be worried about the stock market now? As a long-term investor, I'd say no.
Yeah, I mean, you nailed it on the head. I think with the noise in the media, it goes to show that noise in media sells. And, the book Factfulness, it just shows that based on the facts and not the noise in the media, things are getting better in a lot of sectors that no one talks about.
Yeah, I mean, the media and the news their job is to have you pay attention to them. And, I always think about this because the reality of traveling on an airplane is extremely safe. Unfortunately, accidents do happen. And when an airplane accident does occur, you see it on the news. But you don't see on the news the 100,000 of planes that landed safely that day.
Yeah.
So that's the job of the media and the news, is to have you pay attention. So fear sells.
Yeah, totally. Absolutely makes sense.